These 3 stories were shared with me by viewers who swear every word actually happened. Whether you believe them or not, that's up to you. Just remember, the things that scare us most are the ones that really happened. Story 1. The man at the amusement park. I've never liked camping. The dirt, the bugs, the sleepless nights on cold ground, it was never for me. But every summer, my dad would drag me out into the woods with his friends, forcing me to unplug and reconnect with nature. By the time I hit high school, I'd had enough. So one year, I convinced him to let me bring a friend. That's how Charles ended up coming along. He loved the outdoors, Boy Scout, hiking badge, the whole deal. I figured if I had to suffer, I might as well bring someone who knew what they were doing. Only, the trip didn't start off right. One of my dad's buddies messed up the campsite reservation. Instead of being deep in the woods, we ended up at this overdeveloped campground with paved roads, playgrounds, even indoor bathrooms. It was basically camping for beginners. But the weirdest part, right next to the campsite was a small amusement park, roller coasters, carnival lights, the whole thing. The sight of a Ferris wheel peeking over the tree line felt wrong, like 2 worlds that shouldn't have ever touched. Charles thought it was hilarious. He kept saying, "This isn't camping, man," laughing at my dad's disappointment. By nightfall, everyone had gone to bed. Charles and I sat in our tent, restless and high off a few hits from a little metal pipe he'd brought. He grinned at me and said, "Wanna go climb the roller coaster?" I don't know why, but the idea was thrilling. We waited until the adults were asleep, grabbed flashlights, and snuck to the fence. It wasn't even hard to climb. The park was completely dark except for a few security lights. Somewhere in the distance, a golf cart engine hummed. We ducked behind snack stands and trash cans whenever the lights passed. It honestly felt like a stealth mission, funny at first, until it WASN, single quotes did dot. We reached the base of the roller coaster, the biggest one in the park. Up close, it looked massive, like a black metal skeleton, stretching into the clouds. We found the maintenance stairs and started climbing. Halfway up, the air got colder. The metal rungs clanged softly under our boots. By the time we reached the top, I could see the entire park, rows of dark rides, motionless swings, the faint glow of our campfire miles away. We took one picture and decided that was enough. On the way down, things changed. As we crouched behind a snack shack to avoid a guard's patrol, Charles tapped my shoulder. I looked up and froze. About 30 feet away, between 2 buildings, someone else was crouching. Not a guard, not a camper, a man. He wasn't hiding from us. He was watching us. For a few seconds, he didn't move. Then he sprinted across the open ground and passed under a dim streetlight. That's when I saw him clearly. He was barefoot, shirt ripped, limping, and his face was smeared with something dark, something that looked like blood. He disappeared behind a building. The guard's cart rolled past us, and we bolted, no whispering, no laughing, just running. We climbed the fence, landed hard, and didn't stop until we were back in our tent. Neither of us spoke. The next morning, a park staffer came by with a notice. A man had been stabbed and killed the night before, about 4 miles away. The suspect, a white male in his 30s, was still on the run. Last seen, shirtless, bleeding, possibly with blood on his clothes. Charles and I looked at each other. We didn't tell anyone. Not my dad, not the Rangers. I don't know why we stayed silent. Maybe we were scared. Maybe it was guilt. All I know is, we were feet away from a murderer that night. And sometimes, when I see that old picture from the top of the coaster, I swear there's a figure standing in the dark, far below us. Story 2. The clown on the train. This next one happened during the 2016 clown hysteria, when people were spotting creepy clowns all over the country. I was 16, riding the uptown train home after school. It was an ordinary Wednesday, empty car, headphones blasting, head buried in my phone. When the train stopped at 96th, I got up without thinking. The door slid open and someone was standing in the doorway. It wasn't a commuter, it was a man dressed as a clown. Baggy yellow shirt, rainbow suspenders, huge red shoes, white makeup smeared across his face. But no wig, just stringy hair and these painted blue eyebrows that made Tim looked angry. He didn't move, didn't talk, just blocked the exit, staring for a few seconds. I couldn't move either. Then instinct kicked in. He tried to brush past him. The moment my shoulder touched his, he bent down until our faces were inches apart. And then he lunged. I bolted. The clown chased after me, his oversized shoes slapping against the concrete. When I looked back, he had a knife, a long kitchen-style knife. The station was empty. My screams echoed through the tunnel. I sprinted up the stairs 2 at a time and didn't stop until I reached the street. He didn't follow. The police searched the station later but found nothing. No clown, no knife, nothing. For weeks, I couldn't ride the subway alone. Every time the doors opened, I half expected to see that face again, smiling, waiting. Story 3. The night. Lifeguard job. This last one isn't your typical horror story, but it still keeps me up at night. Back in my early 20s, I was broke, taking online classes, and desperate for work. I found a job listing on Indeed for a night shift, lifeguard at a hotel pool. That hours were strange, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. And even stranger. The listing specifically said, must not speak Spanish. I speak fluent Spanish. Half my family is Mexican, but $30 an hour was too good to pass up. So, I applied and lied. I got hired the same day. When I arrived, a heavy-set man greeted me with a big smile and introduced himself as Esteban. As we walked through the complex, another man appeared, taller, thinner, serious. He walked right up to me and started speaking rapid Spanish. I pretended not to understand. After a few seconds, both men laughed. The tall one said, "Just testing you." He introduced himself as the manager. He explained the job. Watch the pool, collect money from non-guests, and call him if there was ever a problem. And there was one last rule. If anyone showed me a blue wristband, I was to unlock the door to a building behind the pool, something he called the pool house. I didn't ask questions. For the first few weeks, it was uneventful, mostly empty nights, a few hotel guests swimming, and the occasional drunk couple sneaking in after hours. Then one night, around midnight, a group of 5 people showed up. They weren't staying at the hotel, but they all had blue wristbands. Without a word, they walked past me, toward the pool house. A few minutes later, the music started, soft at first, then louder. I heard muffled voices, then crying. I called Heifei's number. No answer. I tried straight to voicemail. The sounds coming from that building got worse. Something or someone slammed against the inside wall hard enough to make the door rattle. I grabbed my stuff and left. I quit the next day. A week later, I saw a short news article online. Police had raided that same hotel. They arrested several people for human trafficking and illegal night parties being run out of an unlicensed facility behind the pool. I don't know how deep it went or what I nearly witnessed that night. All I know is that if I had spoken Spanish that first day, probably would have been inside that building, not guarding the pool. 3 stories, different people, different places, same reminder. Sometimes, danger doesn't hide in the dark. It waits in plain sight, and you don't realize how close you were to it until it's too late.